The citadel was right in front of them. Loren walked towards the legendary gates of the fortress with pride. The guards at the post jumped in surprise and announced the arrival of the princess, and more amazingly, the queen as well. The large doors cracked open. Inside of the fortress, hundreds of Amazons rushed to form a procession by the entrance, all kneeling to welcome back their royalty. Loren stepped up to the bowing woman, with the hands on her hips. "I have returned. I was told many suns ago that our queen, my mother, had gone missing and that she was dead. I bring her to you now." Karen stepped forward, and the entire city seemed to apologize and cheer at once. "Hail, Queen Karen!" She held out her hand to quiet them. They all looked to her with fear of punishment for leaving her to die. "My daughter was very brave in finding me. She has proven great strength and intelligence where I have failed. I was your queen, but I do not feel worthy of this honor any further." "Mother?" Karen quickly gestured Loren to be silent. "A more fit ruler has presented herself, and I will relinquish my throne." Okay, abgeben? Freimachen? "My throne to my daughter within the season." The Amazons bowed to Loren. "Hail, Princess Loren!" "Mother, I did not bring you back for this. You are their queen." "I am a weakling. You have seen what I am." Karen blinked rapidly and looked away. "I will prepare you for rule, and then you will be queen. You saved me, and I am grateful. This is what I want." Loren gaped at her mother, unable to believe what had just happened. She was interrupted when Breeza approached urgently. "Princess Loren, a very important guest is waiting for an audience with you." When she could finally tear her eyes from Karen, she processed the message. A polymesho. "A polymesho is quick for an old man. Fine, tell him I will be with him in a moment's time." Loren went with Eleanor to meet the guests. Even though they had arrived back home and the mission was complete, Loren had not dismissed her service. Both seemed to ignore it, for fear that bringing it up would definitely put an end to the partnership. They walked into the audience chamber and found two people that neither had been expecting. A woman clad in live vegetation and a blonde elven scout were standing together on one other side of the room. Eleanor recognized the woman to be a druid, sprites that protected the forest. The elf with her must have been her guard. "Who are you?" "I'm an elder druid myth, and this is my brother Ray." "A druid and an elf? Why are you here?" "We have never met, but I represent the elven nation. As you've no doubt heard, the Empire and the elves are now at war. You've come to recruit the Amazons to your side. I suppose it's fairly obvious. I would not be here at the grim time if it were not very important. I do wish for support, but not of the entire Amazons, just Princess Loren." "Just me? Why?" "We know you have the Ember Blade, and we know that it has recognized you. It's hard for outsiders to keep secrets in elven territory." Eleanor felt a chill from how openly the elf evaluated her. She had never felt so exposed while clothed. "I'm sorry to say You traveled here in vain. I'm not siding with the humans or elves. Princess, important guests have arrived for an audience. More? Your friends? In four the doors walked in Apelimesho and Amikiki, not far behind. The druid and her elf jumped in shock. Agents of the Empire! Elven witch! Apollymesho raised his staff to cast an attack spell, but Ray had shot a perfectly armed bolt, knocking him from the mage's hands. In the next moment, Ray was tackled by Mukiki, while Myth had summoned vines to puncture through the floor tiles and grab Apollymesho's legs. Stop this madness! Eleanor ran to the elf and the gladiator to pull them apart. With a sturdy kick of her foot, she shoved the gladiator away from the elf and out of his chokehold. A quick flash of her sword kept the two separated. I will not battle within the citadel. Oh, nee, you. You will not battle within the citadel. Mirth and Apollymesho huffed at each other from across the room. Their companions slowly stopped growling at each other and joined the other sides. Within these walls no war exists. If you battle, I will eradicate you. Understand? My apologies, Princess Loren. I was not expecting the enemy. And I was not expecting filth. Nah. Listen to yourselves. You do not know each other, but have already committed to hating each other. These two men have not proved to be evil and worth killing, and I doubt the druid and her brother are either. Then you have not heard of the horrible tales of what the Empire does to elves in their hands, or their plot to cleanse the worlds of them. Do you allow every aspect of your reasoning to be ruled by fear-mongering and lies? I will hear no more of this scrabble. This war is your own fault. I'm glad you brought that up. On my trip back to Grimmauld, I have learned something very disturbing. The origins of this war are not what you expect. I wonder how you will twist it to the best paint the elves as the villains. Unfortunately, the villains are more intelligent than common elves. Das ist so ein Sack. Ray reached for a bolt to load his crossbow, but stopped when Loren bared her teeth at him. The elves that attacked our town were not elves at all. Elves attacked your cities? That is backwards. Humans attacked the forest. Perhaps it's both. Have you considered that? Neither of us attacked each other. I had to oversee the burial of 100 elves not too long ago, wizard. I am in no state of mind for your barbs. If you could listen, I would tell you that no elves' corpses were found after their ambush, only the bodies of goblins. Using my magic, I was able to detect the essence of illusion, and I have put two and two together. The goblins merely looked like elf scouts when they attacked. So that means the humans that attacked the forest were goblins too? Precisely. Exakt. Präzise. The Empire did not instigate the war.
Ja, dann hab angefangen.
Nor the elves, by that conclusion. I will have to agree. So, if your magic is not mistaken, then only a demon could have organized these attacks. That magic is restricted to the Everburn Mountains. Demons, it's always demons. Faust, he's their leader. I have fought him in the past, and he is beyond ruthless. He is near impossible to kill. My comrades and I had thought we had done so. It appears we were wrong. Furthermore, the council did not believe me when I presented this revelation to them. They will not believe that the elves did not attack us. They are so thirsty to slaughter us then. I do not want this war, Archwizard. I will see it end by any means. I find no glory in this war either. If we can find a means to a truce, then we should do it. A brief moment of silence told Loren that the two of them needed to form an alliance, or else they would kill each other off for no reason. Eleanor's gaze bounced between both faction leaders, eager for them to come to the same conclusion. I propose we join forces against our true enemy. Apollymesho straightened. The demons, you mean? Yes. We may not see eye to eye, but a more dangerous foe is at large. Foe. Hat bestimmt dieselben Wurzeln, das Wort. Then we shall seek peace with our nations. The old wizard was silent for a long moment, and then reached out his hand towards the druid. She stared at it and then reached out her own. They shook hands with each other, sealing their new alliance. Everyone in the room marveled at how their attitudes had completely changed, putting their personal vendettas aside for the greater good. Gut, jetzt habe ich noch 30 übrig, also noch 10. 1, 2, 3. Nee, verkehrt. Sehr schön. Ah, das ist jetzt nicht wahnsinnig viel, merke ich gerade. Das ist 20, das ist 20 und das ist 27. Das ist ein bisschen... noch hier 2 weg. ...31, 18, 18. Na, ich glaube, das geht klar. Was haben wir denn hier Schönes? Da oben steht Type Active. Wieso habe ich jetzt Attractive gelesen? Das war ein freudscher Verleser. Rote Haare. Rrr. Hits all enemies with water damage. Ja gut, Water habe ich schon. Hits all enemies with air damage. Ich glaube, Luft habe ich noch nicht so viel, ne? Highland. Highland. Das ist, ja. Okay. Ja, ich mach mal hier automatisch. Can the elves really work together with the humans? We must try, Ray. The only other option is to be attacked on 2 fronts, rather than just one. Archwizard, the sword. Oh yes, Princess Loren's sword. The time has come to use it. Are you seeking to manipulate her to do your bidding? The sword does not need to stand just for the Empire, it could stand for our combined forces as well. The sword is dragging me into commitments I have not made yet. Is that all it will do? I want nothing more to do with it. Loren unsheathed the sword and it glowed, but she immediately slammed it against the floor. Everyone gasped in horror. Amukiki rushed to pick the sword off the ground. He frowned at Loren. You're throwing it away? But it has chosen you. A piece of metal is not going to ruin my life. If you want it so badly, you can have it. I have plenty of superior weapons here at the Citadel. You will never find a blade stronger than this one. Don't be a fool and throw it away. The world needs you and you are running away. If your armies are to fight as one, we need not only a fearless leader, but one who will not appear to be base towards either side. With this sword, everyone will agree that the gods themselves choose you to lead us against the demons. Your Highness, they need you. That is not my problem. Then we will ask the Queen to lead. Queen Karen is a good substitute, for she cannot wield the sword. Loren was tense, thinking of her mother taking her place. Could she send her mother to war after just returning her home? Retuning her home. This is absurd. You cannot have the Queen. This seems more like her decision than yours. Loren knew her mother would take up this role, if only as a means to kill herself. She could not lose her mother to this. Your Majesty. Eleanor had difficulty bringing Loren's hard stare towards her. Ja, joking, das ist jetzt auch gerade der richtige Zeitpunkt. Ich habe irgendwie das Gefühl, ich wähle immer nur friendly aus. Forceful. Sie weiß ja, was das Richtige ist. Sie hat nur Angst. Und sie will nicht manipuliert werden. Aber dadurch würde sie sich sowieso von allen anderen sozusagen leiten lassen. Sie wird nicht auf sich selbst hören. Sie will halt nur nicht von anderen getrieben werden. Friendly würde vielleicht unterfüttern, dass sie es freiwillig macht. Andererseits vielleicht so ein bisschen a whack on the head. Kleine Schläge auf den Hinterkopf erhöhen das Denkvermögen, habe ich mal gehört. Ist totaler Schwachsinn. Also völliger Schwachsinn. Aber so metaphorisch gesprochen, so ein bisschen, ne? Klartext reden. Klartext. The demons must be stopped. Once they are done whipping out the humans and the elves, they will come for you. We should take this war to them and show them that the Amazons are not to be messed with. Loren stared straight in front of her, not contemplating her words. Eleanor prayed that she had gotten through her mistress. Finally, the prince's eyes blinked back into reality and looked at the faces around the room. The demons are asking for a fight, and I shall give it to them. Everyone was more than relieved. The air in the room was significantly much lighter. Significantly. Amukiki, the sword. The warrior looked down at the ember blade and then slowly walked up to Loren. She gazed at it warily. Amukiki kneeled down suddenly in front of her, holding up the hilt for her to take. Loren stared down at the sword, and then finally wrapped her finger around its handle, lifting it into the air. It glowed. Is this your calling, sword? Unifying these people to slay the demons responsible? I'm sure of it, Your Highness. She sheathed it and looked over at her servant. We shall see, I suppose. An historical alliance was formed then. The humans and the elves had joined forces with the Amazons to lead one united army against the enemy who threatened them all. After some negotiation, both Polymesha and Murphy were prepared to take the step to convince their individual nation to end the war. The citadel was designated as the base of operations, due to it being the only neutral fortress in the land. Was blinkt denn da hier so? Als würde irgendwo jemand was abfackeln. Vielleicht Fackeln oder Lagerfeuer, aber es ist meine innere Feuerwehrfrau kriegt gerade irgendwie Krise. Mein innerer Grisou. The guests were all treated to a formal Amazon welcome and peacemaking rituals, including great feasts, folk songs, and test of strength. After a few hearty days of bonding, the Amazons had concluded that an alliance would be formed between the three cultures, and even the human and elf fractions began to put their difference aside. Ja, das ist halt so. Wenn man ein bisschen Zeit miteinander verbringt, ne, dann sind die auf einmal alle nicht mehr so scheiße, wie sie vorher erklärt wurden. You are very strong for an elf. Das Kompliment mit Seitenhieb, okay. I believe that was a compliment, alright. You are not bad yourself. For a human. Okay. I am the greatest warrior in Grimmaw, and I'm not bad at all. Even the greatest warrior can fall from a single arrow. The two stared at each other and then laughed. You're right, I should have the arrows on my side, even if I don't need them. You think brute strength is everything, huh? Prepare to be proven otherwise. Is that a challenge, assassin? They paused, both sure that they were the superior fighter. I accepted. May the best elf win. Kiki chuckled, and they slammed their fists together in a gesture of good sport. New party member. So, der hat Stärke und Skill ziemlich hoch. Hä, ich glaube, ich mache dem wirklich nur 11? Dass das so... Warte mal, was würde denn hier so passieren? Oh! Okay. Okay, ja, warum nicht? Was ist hier los? Ja, komm, sei es drum. Auto. Nearby, Draco grinned excitedly and turned towards Ramas, standing idly next to him. He held out a fist towards him. May the best elf win. Ramas just looked at the fire mage. Or dwarf. What? Come on, let's make a cool challenge-packed signing too. Thingy. Ramas grumbled and walked away, leaving Draco hanging. He pouted. Well, sucks for you, because you were just going to win anyway. Now I win. Draco wins. Haha, yeah. Eleanor walked up to her mistress Loren while she was holding her final audience with the Polymesher and Milf. The green girl. Woman. So it is agreed. We shall both head back to our capitals to divert attention far away from the citadel and to convince our nations to put a stop to this bloodshed. Yes, I will help the forest elders. See how we were so easily fooled. Princess Loren, you must come visit each of us immediately. If everything goes as planned, we need to introduce you to our respective councils as the new commander of the combined army. Speaking of which, I do not feel the Grimmaw Council will be so readily or convinced that the elves did not attack. I may need your help in convincing them. I will come visit you both as times allows. Your Highness, all preparations for departure have been made. Oh, Eleanor. Good. Stand in front of me. Eleanor cautiously stepped in front of Loren as she asked. The princess unsheathed her sword and she tensed. My first decree as the High Commander is to promote you to my second in command. Hast du meine Werte im Bogenschützen gesehen? Ich bin ne Nulpe! Must be my charm. Majesty? Kneel, Eleanor. Without questions, she obeyed. The amber blade then tapped both of her shoulders, and she looked up at Loren with disbelief. You have proven your worth to me as an advisor, and I will have it known that your commands are to be respected as if they were mine. Uff. So viel Verantwortung. Ah, Panik. Thank you, Majesty. My life is yours. The princess smiled almost unexpectedly. As my second in command, you may call me less formally. Yes, ma'am? The gesture was beyond comprehensions. Was she no longer a slave? The feeling barely resisted. An entire lifetime of being treated as just a lowly servant, and now Eleanor was given one of the highest honors she could ever obtain. Loren sheathed her sword, but it took Eleanor several more moments to stand again. I'm happy for you. Back to our matter. You need a token of empire to pass into Grimmer unharmed. The old wizard materialized a medallion from his robes and held it out to Loren. She instead nodded for Eleanor to take it instead. This will let you pass in the Empire's lands without much trouble. I assume the rooks and the bandits who do not recognize our laws will attack you anyway. That is a wise idea. I shall give you the forest blessings so that those still loyal to the elders will not strike you down. The druid closed her eyes and a glowing flower sprouted from her palm. She plucked it and handed it to Eleanor, over to Eleanor. This will be useful. I will leave to meet with you soon. I must be off right now, but I will leave Amukiki to you. Oh, Entschuldigung. Muss was trinken? And I have convinced Ray to travel with you as well. Haben wir die Bubis am Bubble. Farewell and be safe. The two faction leaders bowed and left the palace to depart from the citadel altogether. Commander Breezer approached Loren and saluted with her with a hand over her heart. Your Majesty, the Amazons are ready to fight for you. Your allies are strong and we will no doubt be victorious. But we should not turn down a chance to strengthen our numbers. There may still be more allies to be found hidden around Araborn. A group of A group of peculiar elves were discovered by our scouts in the Orish wastes. If you wish to investigate, they had a strange blue color in their skin. They are not common elves, so be wary, princess. Thank you. You are dismissed. More allies? Besides the dwarves, whom could be recruited to our cause? I can think of no one of value. If I may interject, we have encountered several powerful people in our journey that I think could be useful to have on our side. Saucer, the monk from Mount Kronos, was a very strong unarmed specialist. He would likely be interested in helping us. There's also the shapeshifter, Chambara. She may not see the point, but I believe we could convince her that even her isolated swamp is in danger. Yes, those are excellent ideas. If I have time, I will see to recruit them. When shall we depart? Tomorrow morning at dawn. Tomorrow morning at dawn. Sag das schnell in 5 Sekunden. Be prepared, Eleanor. We have a war to end. Yes, ma'am. The celebration of the Queen's return had ended. The pact had been made, and the party was ready to set off to fix what the demons had so easily broken. Oh, okay. Training. Jawohl, Training. Das ist... Oh, ne, forget. Training ist hier. Save Game. Save Game. Hier habe ich den Weg gewählt, mit ihr auf freundliche Art und Weise zu reden. Und hier habe ich den Weg gewählt, mit ihr auf romantische Art und Weise zu reden. Ich war zwar im ersten Moment total schockiert, dass sowas menschlich ist, aber ich bin ja doch neugierig, ehrlich gesagt. Und hier alle Optionen sozusagen offen zu halten, ist schon ein bisschen dreckig, ich weiß. Aber ne, das ist so der, innere, innere, böse, böse. Gut, Castle, Training with Breezer, Shop. Ja, Shop ist doch gar nicht mal so schlecht. Vor allen Dingen gibt's hier einen Bogen. Ja, es gibt einen Bogen. Sehr schön. Wo bin ich denn hier? Hallo, Bogen. Ach, der ist schlechter als meiner. So ein Mist. Warum zum Geier habt ihr hier so Grütze? Die haben doch angeblich geile Waffen. Also die haben alle Grütze. Alle Grütze. Oh, der kann überhaupt nichts davon gebrauchen. Toll. Kritisch. Da ist auch nichts für ihn dabei. Sie dabei. Das ist auch alles Schrott. Sage mal. Oh, okay. Okay. Alles andere schlechter, aber macht nichts. Equip directly. Sehr schön. Gut. Was hast dann du hier? Kannst du damit was anfangen? Nee, das ist schlechter. Das ist auch alles schlechter. Sage mal. Ich hätte gerne so eine schöne Shopping Mall, wo so richtig geile Waffen sich... Oh, das ist auch besser. Das sind Zweihänder, ne? Ja, Zweihänder und das ist ein Einhänder. Da muss ich mal gucken, wie ist das hier mit ihm? Wo ist denn der? Das ist besser. Dann nehmen wir das hier. Dein Bogen. 15. Wie ist... Oh. Hä? Close? Wie ist denn das hier mit dem Bogen? Ist der... Nee, das ist auch nicht besser. Das sind nur 2 Punkte besser. Nee, finde ich eigentlich ganz gut, so was er jetzt im Moment in der Hand hat. Das ist ja auch ein Zweihänder, glaube ich, ne? Ja, so eine Keule steht im Elf besser als so ein Cop-Up-Ding. Was haben wir dann hier mit der Klamotte? Oh, die Defense wäre dafür um einiges besser. Oder wäre um einiges alles besser? Was ist denn das für ein Ring? Kann ich den gebrauchen? Oder er? Ja, komm, der hat sowieso eine schlechte Defense. Das ist eigentlich ganz gut so, dass der was Schickes kriegt. Fitte warme Füße. Mehr Magic. Magic! Die könnte er von Onyx gebrauchen. Nehmen wir das da. Achso. Ich brauche ja eigentlich bei ihr nicht so wahnsinnig viel Aufhebens zu machen. Ich wollte sie ja sowieso zurücklassen. Ne, ist nicht wirklich was dabei, was ihn großartig viel besser tut. Gut. Ein bisschen was verkaufen. Ich habe jede Menge Zeugs hier. Das Ding kann immer noch keiner von denen gebrauchen. Kann das sein? Irgendwie nicht, ne? Die hat ja Zweihänder. Er hat den Stab. Das ist auch ein Zweihänder, ne? Steht doch jetzt gar nicht. Ah, doch, Two-Handed. Einhänder. Ich weiß nicht, also irgendwie kann keiner dieses Schild gebrauchen. Weiß nicht, also irgendwie... Keiner von denen kann ein Schild gebrauchen. Nö. Die haben alle die Hände voll. Oh, weißt du was? Verscheuern wir das Ding hielt. Gut. Was ist das hier? Sehr schön. Was ist denn das? Ach ja, Speed. Ja, ich weiß nicht so richtig, was ich mit Speed anfangen soll, weil das ist doch sowieso, die wechseln sich doch sowieso ab, von daher. Paralysierend, ja gut. Nehmen wir alles mit. Boah. Boah. Gut, da werden wir jetzt ein bisschen trainieren. Nochmal einmal Training mit ihr hier. Change Party Setup. Wen trainieren wir denn hier? Also er ist Bogenschütze. Der geht für sie. Er ist halt Kämpfer, der würde für sie gehen. Mal gucken, wie sie so drauf ist erstmal. Also Training with Brazier. Ready to train with me and my goblins... Goblin slaves? I won't go easy. I'm warning you. Goblin slaves? Was hast denn du für komische Anwandlungen hier? 2 gegen 2. Oh, da bin ich sehr schlecht. 4 gegen 4. Das wird mir schon besser gefallen. Je mehr, desto besser, ne? Also er auf jeden Fall. Dann werde ich mal ihn mal wegnehmen. Und ja, ich muss wissen, wie er so drauf ist. Dann werde ich mal mich wegnehmen. Okay. Oh, der hat schon eins auf die Mütze gekriegt. 73, 73, 39. Oh, sehr schlecht. Dann kriegt die da eins auf die Mau. Mit auf die Kuppe. So. Oh, toll. Das fängt ja schon mal gut an. Sehr schlecht. Das ist besser. So. Vierundzwanzig. 49. Hier, eins auf die 12. 20, 24. Besser. Okay, machen wir hier. Was haben wir hier? 150, sehr schön. Ja, komm, hier. Holla die Waldfee. Oh, das fängt schon mal sehr schlecht an. Okay. 24. Das ist alles sehr schlecht. Und er darf jetzt alleine hier gegen die... Oh, das wird aber... Das ist düster. Das ist sehr düster. Welche Kombination soll ich denn da bitte schön nehmen? Damit das wenigstens einmal funktioniert. Also er muss dabei sein, der ist halt rundum Schlagkraft, aber er hatte wirklich eine gute Ausdauer und sie hatte im Gegensatz zu ihr eine schlechtere Ausdauer. Ja gut, ich meine, klar, ne? Die hat weniger Punkte. Hm. Nehmen wir die mal weg. Okay, nehmen wir mich mal dazu. Hm. Probieren wir es mal. Ah, mal ein bisschen durcheinander hier. Oh, das würde aber denen viel mehr Punkte abziehen, sehe ich gerade eben erst. Und doch, hier. Komm. Je mehr Punkte, desto besser. Oh, das ging aber jetzt richtig schnell. Das ist, jo. Ich konnte gar nicht sehen, was am schnellsten platt gemacht wurde. Das war alles so in einem Rutsch. Das ist jetzt ungünstig. Vielleicht sollte ich doch mit 2 gegen 2 nur. Vielleicht. Das ist, Sie ist ja nicht die stärkste von allen, aber ich meine, wenn ich hier trainieren will, heißt das, ich möchte Punkte haben. Wenn ich die Leute, die ich immer gerne benutze, nicht mit Punkten fülle, das ist ja eigentlich auch witzlos. Ach komm, probieren wir's. Testen wir einmal durch hier. 138. Prozent, dass es einfriert. Nee, hat nicht geklappt. Haut mal dem einen auf die Mütze. Hier eins auf die Mütze. Ja, das geht um einiges einfacher, sehe ich jetzt gerade hier, ne? Nicht wirklich. Okay. Ich muss mir da was anderes überlegen, wo ich trainiere, hä? Ich meine, in der Stadt hat es super lange gedauert, aber es hat wenigstens was gebracht. Hier kriege ich ja gar keine Punkte. Das ist echt, jo, leicht niederschmetternd, dass ich hier so total kacke bin. Also muss ich sie doch auswechseln. Er ist ja der Knaller immer, ne? Nee, er ist halt stark. Sie aber auch. Machen wir es vielleicht mal so. Einmal mal gucken wir mal, ob wir es hinkriegen. Nur ein einziges Mal. Was ist das hier? Ihm Angst einjagen. Ach, das ist nur 18, das ist ja lächerlich. Gut. Wir müssen es ein bisschen einfrieren, jawoll. Oh, das ist echt schlecht. So, sowas von. Das ging sowas von rapide eben, hä? Meine Güte. Das mit dem Training, das kann ich hier aber vergessen, hä? Das, jo, das, Commander Bracer, you have served the Citadel well, I assume? I'm overjoyed at your return, Your Majesty. That's a very different attitude from before. Bracer sputtered in anger. What do you mean, Eleanor? She was quick to label you as dead and pass the crown to Loren. Karen and Bracer looked at each other for a moment until Bracer looked at the ground. I'm sure Bracer had her reasons, and they were wise ones. You honor me. Eleanor still felt uneasy with Bracer, even for Karen had no issue with her. Entschuldigung, aber habe ich genossen, genießt. So. Jo. Hat sich irgendwas geändert? Oh, tatsächlich. Ein Morgenstern. Das, Der war vorhin noch nicht da, aber der ist genauso Schrott wie... Die kann das gar nicht nehmen. Warum können... Woran liegt das genau? Das ist mir schleierhaft.
Nur weil ich ein Mädchen bin?
Egal. Das ist ein kleines bisschen besser in der Schnelligkeit. Ja, das ist, ja. Ich dachte, ich hatte von dem ganzen Kram mindestens 2. Habe ich mich da getäuscht? So, also das mit dem Training kann ich hier vergessen. Das, jo. Gut, dann geht's weiter. Oh, so viel Auswahl. So viel Auswahl. Wo gehe ich jetzt hin? So, ich habe 50 Minuten gespielt. Ich wollte ja eigentlich nur kurz spielen und trainieren, aber das mit dem Training... Jo. Jo. Also hier die Dunkelelfen. Tempel der Wahrheit. Also ich darf mir aussuchen. Ich würde ja gern hierher, damit ich ein bisschen trainieren kann, aber boah. Hm. Ja, komm. Ich muss trainieren. Sonst reiße ich ja echt gar nichts. Wenn ich sogar von der Amazonentante hier so platt gemacht werde, da fühle ich mich schon ein bisschen zusammengefaltet, ne? Finde ich nicht gut. So. The party used their medallions to pass the new security posts into the heavily guarded city of Grimor. Even though they presented the medallion to the gate guards, they had to detain the elves in the party before letting Loren and the others through. To their dismay, the elves were asked to wait with the guard until Loren's return. Das heißt, Eleanor auch, ne? Do not be afraid, Eleanor. You will return to me shortly. I will see to it the city burns. Nett. The elf woman exhaled sharply. From how possessive her mistress sounded before she left. The reassurance in Loren's eyes, however, gave her some little comfort about the situation. But Eleanor felt detached from her mistress almost immediately after she disappeared into the grimoire. Alles klar. In the beginning she was just a slave, but now she felt like she was truly a player in this conflict, and to be stuck in the outskirts of it all bothered her immensely. She stood with Draco and Ray inside a crude cell they were locked into by the guards. I'm getting used to captivity. It's not that hard after so many times. We should not be here. The medallion the old wizard gave us should have allowed for our passage. That coin would have been worthless to a grieving family member seeking revenge on any elf they saw. Your mistress is keeping you here for your own safety. I am her second in command. I should be on her side. A heavy clunking sound came from the cell door by Ray. He stepped aside and pushed it open. Well, then go to her. How did you? He may not be a wizard, but this elf is magic. With Ray's guardians, they were able to easily sneak out of the crude dungeon into Grimor. They fought to check the wizard's tower first for Apollymesho. When they got there, Draco and Eleanor were upset to see the entrance so heavily guarded. This didn't faze Ray, who quickly started scaling the stone walls. Scaling? Never mind, he's just insane. Shh, follow me if you want to get inside, or pout out here since you like doing that. Climb a wall and sneak inside like some robber? Well, no thanks, I'll just be pouting. Eleanor? Eleanor had already started getting a foothold in the stone and climbing after Ray. Draco puffed out his checks in defense. If I weren't wearing a robe, I'd climb up there and bonk you two in the head. Just keep quiet and we'll be back for you soon. That sounds familiar. Oh, that's what Loren said, and you freaked out, and now you're sneaking into the Grand Wizard's tower. Der Tipp ist geil. Ray and Eleanor climbed higher and slipped in through a window. Once inside, they took the rafters and looked for Apollymesho's room. Eleanor struggled to keep up with Ray as he skillfully navigated in the dark and one narrow beams. Several times he had to stop and wait for her to catch up, but he did so with a hint of a smile as if he were leaving her behind on purpose. Eleanor made sure to scold him for moving too quickly. They found his room, and the rest of the party was gathered below. The conversation was already in process. Not well, I'm afraid. As I expected, they refused to acknowledge that the elves may not have attacked first. Do I need to speak to the council myself? The council is already the council is a lost cause. It is full of dying, greedy politicians who are only interested in their own personal glory rather than the actual good of the nation. You sound very bitter. Are you not a councilman too? I was a council member. As the Archwizard, I am no longer. Why? What happened? I was discharged from the council not too long ago. I am lucky not to be shackled in a dungeon as well. Any implication that the council is mistaken is considered treason, however true. Well, I can't say that that I can't say that don't sound right for the Empire. They just toss you out of on your own, out on your bum if you so much as look as them funny. Bum is Popo, ne? If you look so much as look at them funny. Immer schräg angeguckt und schon gibt's Haue. I've said it before and I will say it again. Billions is the only way to survive in today's dark times. They have stripped me of my title to keep their ranks loyal. Unfortunately, they have made a grave mistake this time. They dishonor ya, and that's all ya got to say? They're just being vigilant? Vigilant. Vigilant. Das ist bestimmt falsch, vigilant, aber vigilant. Das hört sich an wie vegetarisches Europapark-Land. Ne? Wie wir in den Europapark gefahren sind, das erste, was wir gesagt haben, wo gehen wir als erstes hin? Deutschland, Schweiz, Frankreich, Kloland. So hört sich das mit Veggie-Land an irgendwie. How do we get the Empire on our side, if not through the Council? We must appeal to the army generals themselves. There are two major figures in the Empire's military that, if swayed to our cause, could easily unite all of the soldiers under our banner as well. Who are they? Where will we find them? General Astron and General Samael are who we should seek. Sir Astron is the lower-ranking general, so we should approach him first. Fine. Where is he now? That is difficult to say. Since I'm no longer a man of power here in Grimmauld, I do not have access to that information. I can say that Lord Ashton and I fought fast together in the old war. He was very young, but if there was one thing that was clear about him, it was that he was full of ideals. He was a passionate man who believed deeply in justice and fought for what is right. Without him, we might not have defeated the demons. I know that if we should show him that the elves are not his enemy, he will not lead a war against them. This is fact. New quest. Convince Lord Ashran. Show him the elves are not his enemy? How would we do that? We'll stop shooting once the Empire does. Ray suddenly leaped down from the rafters and landed softly on the floor below. Eleanor clutched a nearby pillar as the wood under her shook. I can't believe he just left me up here, cried the entrance elf. Therein lies the dilemma. We have to think of something. We have no more time to waste. The party filed out of the room, even Ray. Eventually, Eleanor had to find her own way down to rejoin Loren. Okay. Ja, nee, Grimoire. Ich will Task Fight. Jawohl, genau das wollte ich eigentlich. Ich muss hier ein bisschen mein, meine Punkte aufbessern. So, ich weiß gar nicht, was für ein Level der Typi hat. So, wenn sie in die Mitte... Ne, er in die Mitte, mich hier hin. Hm, hallo. So, mal kurz in die Inventory. Was für Level hat denn der Bub hier? Der hat 9, 7... Ja, die haben alle das gleiche, ne? Gut, 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 gut. Sie auch, gut. Alles klar. Save. So, jetzt werde ich ein bisschen leveln und ein bisschen husten. So, man sollte auch den Ton anschalten, das Mikrofon. Ich habe ein bisschen trainiert in der Stadt Grimmer. Und nicht viel, aber ich habe ja diesen fantastischen Ordnungswahn, dass ich versuche, alle auf dem gleichen Level zu halten. Und da muss man dann, wenn man neue dazu kriegt, auch die natürlich ein bisschen nachziehen, ein bisschen mitschleppen und dann immer austauschen, wenn man eben mehr als nur 6 Parts hat. Und ich habe mir gedacht, ich gehe einfach mal wieder in die Berge der Wahrheit und lasse dann 2 gegen den Mönch antreten, weil dann habe ich ein bisschen mehr Kontrolle über die Levelei und über die Punkte, als mit 6 Leuten in der Stadt gegen 6 andere zu kämpfen und dann immer wieder auszutauschen und nur durchzurechnen und mir extra Arbeit zu machen. Das Problem ist, ich bin jetzt gerade eben auf irgendwelche komischen Orks getroffen. Das habe ich jetzt natürlich nicht aufgenommen. Ne? Weil, ja, denken und kämpfen ist halt nicht so mein Ding. Okay, the party hiked up the Great Mountain Kronos, once again in search of the monks they had encountered before. When they reached the top, they found a glorious temple covered in snow. That must be the Temple of Truth. Ja, wir waren da schon mal. Ist lange her, ich weiß. Let's press on and greet the monks. Hopefully they have a fire we can share. Ja, ich will eigentlich dort trainieren. At the temple doors, a couple of monks ushered the group inside and asked them to wait. Loren and Eleanor were just happy to be warm again. Around the corner came a familiar face with an all too familiar grin. Yeah, the saucer. If it isn't my dearest friends come to distract me. This is important business, master. We wouldn't have come otherwise. Color me intrigued. I'll bite. The world is at war. We have agreed at a war. Irgendwas of truth should be called on to help. The disciples. Keine Ahnung. Sorcerer became very serious at the news. So, the time has come. He looked to the monks standing beside him. Tell them this to gather the training hall. I will address them personally. So you'll help? The monks will fight for us? No, sorry. What? Well, I am sure every last one of us wishes nothing more than to go down the mountain and deliver justice and truth. But we have our hands tied with other problems. We may be best suited to dealing with those to spare them from the whole world. Problems such as what? What are the monks tasked with taking care of? The undead, of course. Oops. Necromancers, vampires, skeletons, zombies. The mountain is a playground for them. It's only because we're here that they haven't overrun the place and attacked nearby cities. I was unaware. That is an important cause. Yes, but the demons are a greater treat than them. Than that, the whole world might perish. Demons. Has the demons general risen again? Unfortunately, yes. Faust is leading the demon army against the free people. The world may very well burn if we do not unite. Saucer frowned and crossed his arms tightly in complementation. It's a shame, but all of us have taken a vow that we cannot break. We are bound to the mountains until the rice dead have been cleansed. Why are you letting things you only said keep you from doing what's right? Vows are not just words, they must be respected or you lose yourself. Then all we have to do is just get rid of all the undead and you can leave the mountain? It's not that simple. You are really trying my patience. Perhaps I can teach you how you properly meditate, mistress, princess. Why are things not so simple? The undead have an awful habit of coming back to life, repeatedly. We wouldn't have built a stone temple here if we knew our woes would be fulfilled in a week or two. Hallo Katze. Oh, da ist er richtig die Treppe hochgejumpt. Ja, Futter steht ohne, aber... So you can help us at all? I can spare myself, but no one else. But no one more. Ja gut, der Sinn wäre dasselbe gewesen, aber ne? Alles klar. You mean you'll come fight by yourself? That should be more than enough. I'm the strongest fighter here after all. But what of your woe? If you help me empty the Tomb of Twilight, then I will feel I have earned the privilege of leaving the mountain for a while. You acquired Saucer's personal quest. Defeat undead. Okay. Agreed. Done. We're heading for your tomb immediately. Maybe you should spend the night and learn how to find inner peace first. I think it will do you a lot of good. Saucer smirked and walked away with leisure. Loren knew he wasn't going to leave for the tomb as quickly as she would have hoped. Perhaps he's right. We should take some time to recover from our trip up the mountain. It seems we must. She was a woman that knew what she wanted and did not want to wait for it. Gut, dann hoffentlich kann ich hier jetzt trainieren. Ja, ist gut, Katze, ich komme. Bis denn.